All right, what's up, everyone? Trevor here, Tag Performance and Nutrition, and today we are going to talk a little bit about nutrition again, and excuse me, more specifically, pre-workout meal, pre-training meal, whatever you want to call it, that meal before the workout. But if you really think about it, I think people get too concerned. This is kind of a minor deal. Yes, does it matter? Yeah, it matters what you eat. That pre-workout, pre-training, pre-practice. We'll include all that because it's all very similar. Pre-game meal. But I think we get ahead of ourselves and we worry about this magic meal or this magic supplement that I need to take before a workout or after a workout. We'll talk about both of them actually. We'll just combine pre and post-workout. But if you really think about it, we get ahead of ourselves. We want this magic thing that happens. This meal right before your workout is magic, or this meal right after your workout is magic, and it's not. You need to focus on your overall nutrition plan first. Focusing on eating whole nutrient-dense real foods, eating good quality protein, good quality carbs, good quality fats, and getting enough calories in for your specific goal, your whatever it is you're shooting for, and that is number one. That is the big rocks. Get that in. Dial in your sleep. Dial in your training program. Dial in your stress management. Then you can start getting into these minor details. But a lot of us start majoring in the minors first. We start worrying about meal timing or what to eat pre-workout rather than what else our whole nutrition. But you have that great, perfect pre-workout meal, but the rest of your nutrition is crap. Or you have that perfect post-workout meal, but the rest of your nutrition is crap. That's not how it works. Get out the bigger picture. Honestly, if you just eat whole nutrient-dense quality foods all the time, you probably don't need to worry too much about that pre-workout meal because you are already pretty dialed in there. But let's get more into it as far as that pre-workout meal. What do you want to eat? What kind of foods? What should you have? Do you need that pre-workout or supplements or whatever it is? And first off, I don't think you need supplements. Yeah, you might need some, but as far as pre-workout, you don't need like a pre-workout supplement. I think most of those are garbage. Most of them are just caffeine and an absorbent amount of caffeine with who knows what else is in them. If you really need caffeine, have some coffee, have some tea, take a caffeine pill. But again, I think that whole reliance on the caffeine is more of a neglect of your sleep, of your proper nutrition, of having a good solid training program, because you need that caffeine to kick you in the nuts and get you going. Yes, caffeine can help, but too many people rely on it when they're having just tons and tons of caffeine a day. So pre-workout, you don't need that stuff. It's mostly junk. Spend your money on something else. But that pre-workout meal. So let's talk kind of when your training is going to be a factor here. So if you are training maybe later morning, afternoon, evening, you're probably going to have a couple meals in by then. Or have some food in, and then think maybe 2 hours, 90 minutes, an hour before your training, your practice, your game, have a meal then. And that could be a regular meal, honestly, if you're eating that far out from training. You probably don't want a ton of fat in that meal, just because fat takes longer to digest, and it can slow you down and kind of make you groggy. Feel full and kind of like, I don't want to move, that type of thing. But yeah, so have just a regular meal. Honestly, that's probably the best thing. If you're just eating regular meals, think your protein source, a good quality carb, and maybe a little bit of fat. But again, the closer you get to training, the less you want, I think, fat. So a good quality meal. A full meal works if you got enough time in before your workout. If you're getting closer, again, go towards more quicker digesting carbs and protein. So maybe it's fruit, maybe it's white rice, maybe it's honey, uh, something like that. Then with protein. So the closer you get, again, everyone's going to be different. Find what works for you. Some people, if you eat too close to training, you just feel nauseous, or you just don't perform well because your body's digesting the food while you're trying to train, and that's not what you ideally want. I'm in that boat because if you're like me, you train first thing in the morning. Yes, you can go fasted if you really want, because a lot of times it's your body's going to take the carbs and use those as fuel, and that's really what you want. You want to use carbs as fuel, so don't fear carbs. In the case of your pre-workout nutrition, you shouldn't fear carbs anyway because carbs are good, they're delicious, and they're fuel, like I said, as long as they're quality. But where was I? So talking about, again, carb, like my case, I work out first thing in the morning. So if you're someone who can do fasted, I've done that in the past. It just caught up with me eventually. Just wasn't able to perform as well. But if you do train fasted, eat a bigger meal at night, so you kind of have that glycogen stored up with carbs, and you're ready to go. Because a lot of times you're just using the carbs that are already stored in your body, not necessarily the ones that you're just putting in, but you can get a little bit of energy from the ones that you are eating beforehand. So if you're like me, I'm trained first thing in the morning, but I do like to get a little something in. So I usually just go like Greek yogurt and a banana, something like that, or Greek yogurt and honey, or Greek yogurt, honey, and banana, because my body does well with those. It's not too heavy of a meal, but it's something. Give me a little bit of protein, gives me some carbs, has me feeling good, so I can train right away in the morning. That's me. Again, everything's gonna be personal, but these are just some general guidelines, and that's usually I'm like a half hour after that I'm training or warming up, because then I warm up, and half hour, 45 minutes later, then I'm hitting my sprints or my lift or whatever I got for the day. But that's me. That works for me. Might not work for you, but I think the closer you get to that training window, practice window, game window, the less or the smaller meal you might want. It might just be have some carbs. That could work for you. Might be having a piece of fruit. But I like a little bit of protein there with the Greek yogurt. Or even if I do have a supplement, it would be protein powder, just because it's quick to digest. I don't have to chew a lot of it, and it's quick. But I don't do protein powder. Maybe once a week I'll have protein powder. So I used to do it all the time, but I'd rather eat food than spend money on supplements. But again, to each their own. We'll find what works. Again, find what works for you. But a protein and then a quicker digesting carb, the closer you get to that training window. So, but again, play around with it. Find what works. Some of you might like a bigger meal, but I tend to think those bigger meals work better a little bit farther away from that. So maybe that 2 hour, 90 minutes so type of window or time frame before your workout. So get that in. But that, again, it's not to say no special foods, but I think just more those quick digesting, those easy digestible carbs, your fruits, your honey, your oats can work good too. White rice is always good. And I think it's very similar for the post-workout meal, the post-training meal. And that's always been the thing. You got to get your protein shake within a half hour of that training. As soon as your last rep, you better get that protein shake and chug that thing down. And that's just not true. That's just protein supplement companies marketing, good marketing to get you to buy their supplements, because you have to have that immediately once you finish that workout. But that's just not true. Your body, your body is probably more ready to take in more nutrients, more food. Right after a workout, you're a little bit tired, you're depleted some of those glycogen stores, so you want to refuel, get everything back in your body. So maybe like within an hour, I always think is a good ideal. If you miss it, are you gonna lose all your gains? No. I've went times where I'm just in a rush and trained, wasn't able to eat for a couple hours later, and you'll be fine doing that. So you're not gonna die, I don't think. Hopefully not anyway. This isn't medical advice, so don't take my word on it. If you die, don't come after me. Well, you won't be able to anyway, because you'll be dead. But yeah, so kind of a similar thing. Not a lot. I don't like a lot of fats within that like hour or so after a workout. Typically proteins and carbs. Similar types of foods. Those quick digesting carbs, fruit, white rice. Oats can be good. Oats are a little depending on how much you eat, but that can be good kind of a refueling and kind of stick to your stomach type of thing, and then have some protein. My go-to personally is just really lean beef, ground beef. So I go 96.4. Can't find it all the places. I can get it at Trader Joe's, but I hate going to Trader Joe's just because people there are just dumb and they have no like spatial awareness or any sense of people being around them. I've been like ran into by like so many people just with their carts and just dumb people. I think that's just dumb people in general. But Aldi has it too, but Aldi's is not probably not the best quality. But I just like the leaner. Again, not a lot of fat. Put that with some white rice. What's the season? Louisiana seasoning. Just cake it with that, and then some hot sauce, some Tabasco sauce. That's money. It's hot sauce or buffalo sauce. I use what's the guy? I don't know. It's a quality ingredient. Can't think of the name of it, but a buffalo sauce. That is money. That's my go-to post workout. I have that. I don't know, half hour, 45 minutes after my workout, and I don't get sick. I haven't got sick of it, and have been doing that for the last probably year or so. Most workouts. So, but that's kind of my go-to. Again, find what works for you. You could have a full meal right after. But again, I don't. If you have some fats, it's not going to do much, I don't think. If you're eating quality food throughout the days, throughout the year, you're going to be fine. I think we make too much of the pre-workout meal, the post-workout meal. And if you really think about it, every meal is a pre-workout meal. Because hopefully you got another workout the next day, and then the next day, and then whatever, the next day. All those meals before are pre-workout if you really think of the definition. And then all the meals after are post-workout. So every meal is a pre-workout and post-workout meal. That's why it's so important to just have quality nutrition overall rather than just focus on these two meals before and after and think that those are so magic and that's going to fix everything when if the rest of your stuff is crap, it's not going to do you much good anyway if you just have that. But I'm one for more whole food rather than worry about supplements. Yeah, supplements can help. Like some supplements I take around for my workouts are not pre-workout, but creatine. I'll do that. That's really the only one. I do maca, but I don't really count maca as a supplement. It's just food. It's just ground up. But I'll mix that in my yogurt a lot of times. And that's been beneficial for me. So, but other than that, like specific training supplements, I don't really take any. As far as pre-workout, post-workout. If you like if you're doing super high endurance, you might need some more or long duration hard your endurance run or something like that. You might need some intra workout, maybe some carbs there, whether it's like a coconut water or something like that, or the gel, whatever I don't know. Runners take them. I'm not too familiar with them, or like a cyclic dextrin, intra carb thing, just to get some more carbs in and refuel. But most people don't train long enough or hard enough to need that. Electrolytes is another one. Most of them are just a waste of money too. Just eat food. Eat watermelon. There you go. You get a lot of electrolytes. You already get enough salt with most of your stuff, and that's what most of those are. It's just sodium. So you're salting most of your food anyway. You need more. The good ones are potassium, which a lot of people are deficient. So eat your bananas. What else is potassium? There's something else. I can't think of it. Something, is it spinach? Or maybe it's another fruit that's really high in potassium. But bananas get all the love. But potassium is good too. So again, when you're sweating, you're just losing salt. So you can always add salt, sprinkle on some salt. But you're not losing the potassium as quick as you would the sodium. So if you're getting enough potassium, magnesium, that's another one. I take magnesium too. At times, but I usually do that more at night to help with sleep and calm me down. So if you're getting those things throughout the day, you don't really need those electrolytes because, again, that's just marketing to get you to buy their product. It's basically a bunch of salt, and you can get salt for cheap. So just get regular salt, or I should say like the Himalayan salt, sea salt. But whole nother thing. So focus on the whole quality nutrition throughout the day, throughout the week, throughout the month, throughout the year. You're probably good enough. You don't have to really specify, I mean, what you're training. Just kind of learn to listen to your body, what foods agree with you, what foods you digest well, how close you can eat the workout, how close you can't, those types of things. But I think that pre-workout and post-workout meals stick if you're eating close to the workout, proteins and carbs mainly. Save your fats for different times of the day. I think you'll be good there. I think that's just a solid rule to follow, and you'll be good. So again, you want to make sure you're getting carbs because that's going to fuel your body, give you the energy. Especially if you're training athletically, you're sprinting, you're jumping, you're lifting heavy, lifting fast, crawling, climbing, sprinting, or hopping, skipping, all that fun stuff. Playing sports. That's going to fuel, and then protein is going to help build and maintain that muscle, rebuild, help you keep that muscle and build even more muscle so you can look good and even perform better, be a little bit more durable. And again, we worry too much about it. We try to complicate it and make it more magic than it actually is. When if you just eat real food, you're going to be better off than 95% of the people out there. So that's what my thoughts. That's what I have for you today on the pre-workout, post-workout stuff. If you have any questions, drop them below or send me a message, and I'll get back to you on that. But thanks for watching. Be athletic for life, and we'll talk to you again soon. Thanks, guys.